episode number 8 already.
Episode 8.
Can you believe that? 8. This is crazy. So tell everybody why we do this, why we're having so much fun.
Yes. Well, one of the things I miss the most about going to the theater is that it's an opportunity to run into your favorite people and catch up with them, find out what they're up to, hear about what's new in their lives. And so this is our virtual catch up in the reception area.
Excellent. I love it. Now, and you always tell me 3 things that I am not allowed to talk about.
We're not going to be discussing politics this evening because it is too upsetting.
Okay.
I thought we would just stick with the other things that we're not supposed to talk about, which are, of course, religion and,
Okay.
I mean, finally, banana pudding. You can't.
Okay. Politics, religion, and banana pudding. I know our
Correct.
guest is listening, so he knows he can't talk about those 3 things.
So relevant all the time.
This guest, I am so excited. People are going to die when they find out that he is visiting us today in the Zoom room. He is so busy and has so much on his plate. I can't even believe he said yes to Zooming in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so everybody, some people know this guest by his face. Some people know him by his name. Can you see that, Elise?
Yes.
There it is. All right. He is an actor. He is a playwright, 10 plays. He is considered the master of the Texas comedy.
Oh.
He has written film and television, Sordid Lives, which is a cult phenomenon. I might have just given away who our guest is by saying that. A Very Sordid Wedding, Blues for Willadine, which is based on his play, The Trials and Tribulations of a Trailer Trash Housewife, Southern Baptist Sissies. He has won so many awards in all categories that it would take forever to list them all and we would never get to talk to him. He is a comedian. He has done multiple one-man shows, has also worked with some of the funniest people on stage and on screen. Let me do one more screenshot. This is one of my favorite pictures of our guest. He spends a lot of time writing every day, the biggest and most generous heart you will find in this business we call show. And I have seen him in his pajamas, Elise.
Oh.
Can you believe that? Sitting
Wow.
on Louise Beard's couch, drinking coffee. Please join us in the Zoom room, Mr. Del Shores.
Del Shores!
I feel like Endora, right? It's like I feel like Endora on Bewitched, where it's just like you pop in. Hi.
You just pop in. I'm
Yeah.
so glad that you're joining us today. Oh, my heart is full.
I was just eating some banana pudding while reading the Bible. How about that debate? No.
Hell no!
Hell no, he broke all 3 rules.
Oh, I just said, I'm a rule breaker, so I'm so happy to be here with y'all.
Oh, so I'm going to start talking about the reason Del is here. This is when this pandemic smacked all of us in the entertainment business, everybody really, but I mean, theaters are still closed.
Right.
He set up, and when did you set up the Del Shores Foundation?
Well, it's about a year old.
Okay.
We were a baby. The whole concept for the Del Shores Foundation was to find queer LGBTQ writers, storytellers in the South and give them opportunity. So we were going to have some play competition, some screenplay competition, and we like everybody else, we were setting sail, and then all of a sudden COVID just stopped everything. So we did something else. We thought we'll just use the foundation because we had gone to Terrific New Theater and 22 other theaters who had become our partners to help us find and mentor these storytellers. And when everybody shut down, we thought, well, maybe it's time for us to just start this by helping them out. And I just had this brainchild one day, and I started making calls, and I started with Bo Bridges. I thought, if I can get Bo Bridges, then I can get Bonnie Bedelia, and then I can go to Olivia. And so I just sent out an email, and nobody turned me down.
That's unbelievable.
Well,
If somebody...
One did turn me down, but it was reasonable. I mean, she was very sweet about it. Delta wasn't able to do it, but a little video for us. But other than that, everybody said, yeah.
Well, when you look down at your cell phone and it says Del Shores is calling, right? I think everybody's going to answer, and the answer is always going to be yes, I would say.
Well, thank you. It's like, even Leslie, who has become such a superstar now on
Oh my
Instagram.
God, I love Leslie
Isn't it
Jordan so
crazy?
much.
But here's the deal. I'm going to, nobody who's watching this can tell us. I have a lot of dirt on Leslie Jordan, so I have
I know
at
you
least
do.
10 or 12 more favors to ask him. Um,
So
he says he knows where the bodies are buried.
that's exactly right. Because he's shooting a movie. He does the Instagram things, and he mentions you a lot in his Instagram. You guys are
Yes,
go way
I'm
back.
very grateful. Every time Leslie Jordan mentions me on Instagram, I get a couple of thousand more followers so, from his 5.4 million. So.
5.4.
So how much money did you guys end up raising for all of the theaters from that incredible reading of Sordid Lives?
We were able to give, I think, was it right around 3,500 per
Wow.
something like
Yeah,
that?
you
Something
you
around
raised almost $30,000, I think.
Yeah.
So
Well, we were because there were 23 theaters, so it was a lot
right.
more than that. So 23, I'm not good at math, y'all. I'm more right brain, but say 23 times 3,500, whatever that is. You
Now.
math people. But
Because
we
you did donations, you did an auction, you
right.
sold did you sell the caricatures? You did
We
all
did-
kinds of stuff.
we just kept on. I mean, after the live stream, we did send out one check. I think it was a little over
Mhm.
$2,000 to all the
Yeah.
theaters, and that was just off of people donating, just people
Right.
giving money that night. It was shocking, Tam. As I mean, you were watching, a lot of
Mhm.
people were watching, and it just kept coming in, and
If my calculations are correct, it seems like it was over $80,000.
people were bidding on all that stuff. I went through my garage. I just thought,
You did.
okay, I'm just gonna go out there and see what I have. And I was just pulling sissy outfits, and then I stumbled on Sordid Lives the theater. I mean, Sordid Lives the series. I just found boxes of costumes, and with Rue McClanahan's costumes, and a lot of people. It's amazing. People got a little piece of the show, and
See, and when I say that he's got one of the biggest and most generous hearts in the business, I mean, who would think to do that? To help raise money for theaters that are struggling, that have, we all love you so much and support your work. So
But the same, it goes both ways, Tam. I mean, I wouldn't have a career if it weren't for theaters. I literally started in the theater, all the television, all of the film, everything, me standing on stage just talking, shit that I do. It all started on the stage. My mother was a drama teacher, the high school drama teacher. So my heart is connected to the theater, and my career is connected. I never feel more at home, and it's going to make me emotional because here we all just are struggling
we
to
are.
get back, and we're in this isolation and everything. So my heart just went out. I just had the best year. I directed This Side of Crazy, my new play at New Conservatory, and the world premiere was in San Francisco. Then I'd come here, and literally 2 weeks before we closed here, the news of COVID happened. And we started seeing, I mean, we were able to complete our run. And, at that point, we all didn't know. We didn't know.
Nobody knew how bad it was going to be. I don't think we knew we would be in the same place 6 months later. It was like a 2-week break. It'll be fine. And then we're still here waiting.
Here we are. Well, you have been filling your time. I was telling it during your introduction, I found out when we were trying to schedule this that you actually spend time writing every day.
I do. And I'm really fortunate because right now I actually have a TV series that's in development. So that has been really, I'm co-writing it with Emerson Collins, who has been my producing partner forever. And I can't talk too much about it, but we love this project so much. So every single day I could get up and have something to look forward to. We just hope.
Very exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited to find out you're writing something else. That's so great. So you mentioned Emerson. I want to talk about, you guys do this show, the Dell and Emerson show, twice a week?
Twice a week, yeah.
I hope people are watching it. What's your tagline? Straight talk?
Straight talk, real gay.
Real gay.
I go straight talk, and he goes, real gay. Or,
When did you two start doing that?
Well, we started doing it, actually, we had done it 2 years straight before we filmed A Very Sordid Wedding. And we stopped doing it. We were at a radio station here. Just said, okay, we have other things we have to do. So we shut the show down, and it was wildly successful on UPM radio.
I bet.
And so, there's not much like it, I don't think, where we actually report on what's happening in the gay news this week. And of course, we look for the ludicrous stories as well, as you can imagine. So
I watched your episode from yesterday. I watched the whole thing today. I watched a little bit of it last night, and I sat down and watched the whole thing today. And Emerson was very upset about the debate. Didn't want to talk about, I can't talk about politics.
Don't talk about it. See, it's upsetting.
But you said you were going to watch it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not to go, we won't go into a lot of politics, but I am a political junkie. And I do feel like that, without getting too political here, we have an election coming up, and I use my platform to always say, you know what, you got to vote. And I even went down to Mississippi, y'all. When I was doing 6 Characters in Search of a Play, I was down in Mississippi 2 days before the Mike Espy, Cindy Hyde-Smith special election. And I stayed and worked phone banks there and got me a big ass van and drove people to the polls, because I feel like we have to do something besides, which I can do easily, is I can sit on Twitter and run my mouth, but and get blocked by a lot of people. But which by the way, I'm doing. I know that this airs after my show on October.
Yeah, I want you to talk about the show. Yeah.
But it'll have all the Twitter blocks, and I tell who has blocked me on Twitter and why.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, tell people a little bit about the show that you're going to do on Sunday, October the 4th.
Well, October the 4th, it's called The Shit Stir. And, I'm a self-proclaimed shit stirrer. I feel like that sometimes we have to scream a little bit loudly. And I have a lot of opinions, as you probably can tell in my life and in my work. And so I just decided, okay, I'm just going to do a show called The Shit Stir. And I talk about how I've stirred up some shit. And, there's always some fun stories in my shows. But, and I tell that whole story about going down to Mississippi. It'll be a lot of fun. Even though you're going to be seeing this after my show, it's going to be, just go to YouTube and push in The Shit Stir, go to my fan page on Facebook, and it'll live there for a while.
Good. And I saw in the show last night too, you and Emerson were taking donations. You are, and I know, sorry, Elise, but another politics. You were collecting donations in a central manner so that you could support campaigns for some people running in Texas, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's all over, Tim. What Emerson did is he set up a link where you can just hit the link, and it gives a certain amount of, it splits the money between all the LGBTQ candidates that are running, and there's I think there's like 20 of them right now.
Wow, that's great.
So yeah, we do what we can. I mean, I know y'all do what you can, and we there's a lot of support that's needed, not just political, but y'all that are watching, terrific new theater. All the theaters and all the theaters and. That if you enjoy theater, give right now. And
yes.
You are paying forward. You are absolutely going to there's gonna, as my grandmother said, there will be stars in your crown. Did y'all ever do that?
Amen, Brother Shores. Amen. But I want to make sure I mention a couple other things too. You have the Del Shores studio where you're teaching acting and writing, right?
I do. And it's theDelShoresStudio.com. I have a wonderful associate, Matt Hayes, who teaches beginning and intermediate classes, and we are teaching all over now. And I teach 2 master classes of acting every week and a writing class every week. And I love it.
I bet. The other thing I wanted to mention too that you're doing your Instagram, you walk and ramble.
I do. It's so weird because Leslie always has these minute. You have to, on Instagram, if it's over a minute, it goes into Instagram TV. And I was just so frustrated because, I'm long-winded. And I thought, well, I'm just going to just post them and see what happens. it's crazy. People listen to me talk for 12 minutes at a time, and I'm having fun with it.
Oh,
And then the only other thing, we've already talked about it, but your play, This Side of Crazy, is this close to being published by Concord. So that's going to
That's
happen
right.
pretty soon.
Yes, This Side of Crazy, and I also adapted A Very Sordid Wedding to stage, and that premiere was supposed to be in August. But as soon as this is all over, then you can produce This Side of Crazy.
Yeah, we'll
and-
get back at it. Well, it's so fun to see your lovely smile and to talk to you and hear your voice. I'm so glad that you decided to spend a few minutes with us this evening.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. It's like old friends. I just want to say I so appreciate how many plays y'all have done of mine and how many times you've allowed me to step on your stage and just talk to your audiences. And Louise Beard is my producing partner, and I adore John and Louise, and I have so many good friends there in Birmingham. So I miss you guys, and
Yeah,
I will
we
be
miss you
back.
too. You'll be back, I promise.
we'll be back. Yes.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to wrap up with our 10 questions for
Right.
Del Shores. We're going to find out a little bit more about him. I think after this interview, Elise and I could probably answer a couple ourselves of some of these. But,
Yeah.
all right, so we're just going to go back
I
and
hope you
forth.
get
and
real personal. Get real.
they're not dirty or anything. They're just plain. They're just sweet little questions. And like, for instance, question number 1, what is your favorite dessert, Del Shores?
I was going to say banana pudding. Lately, I've been devouring Halo Top ice cream, which is, have you had it?
I have. It's good.
It's like 320 calories for the whole
The
thing.
whole thing.
What's your favorite? I love the caramel and salt is my favorite.
That's a good one. I think they have a chocolate peanut butter one.
I had that one last night.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good.
Yeah. See how
I love
excited
ice cream
I am over
too.
that?
All right, good answer. Question number 2.
Question number 2, dogs or cats?
Dogs. I've
Yeah.
got 3. 3 chihuahuas. Yeah.
They're lovely.
They're adorable. Now, here's question number 3. Do you still make a wish when you blow out your birthday candles?
I do. I certainly do.
I don't think I'll ever stop, honestly. Question number 4. Yeah.
4, if you didn't live in California, where would you live?
I guess I would probably live in Dallas. I have a lot of friends there, and there's 4 cities that I love. I love Atlanta, Dallas, in Birmingham, and but New York, of course. I would love to, if I had a little summer place somewhere.
Question number 5. If you could wear only one color for the rest of your life, what would that color be?
It should be black, which I'm wearing right now, but it would be blue. I love blue.
Blue.
Yeah. Black just so I would look thin all the time, but blue's the color. Yeah.
Question number 6, what did you collect as a child?
Oh, that's so easy because there's a tragic story. I won't tell the whole story, but I collected silver dimes, and I had so many of them. And then I remember when I was a kid, when I was a freshman in high school, our house burned down, and I remember going through because my room completely burned, going through and finding my silver dimes, and I still have some here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an easy one. All right. Is it my turn? Yes.
Yeah.
Question number 7. Now, I know you know a lot of famous people, but are you related to anyone famous? And if so, who?
My great grandmother always said we were related to a bunch of outlaws, like Billy the Kid. So
We'll take it.
it makes so much sense. On my mother's side of the family, all the Mercs, they go, "Oh, we're kin to Billy the Kid."
Billy
And
the
I'm
Kid.
like,
That's
"That's
right. Bonnie and
something-
Clyde.
You should be proud of that. That's not.
Question number 8, sweet or salty?
I would go salty. I mean, yeah. I mean, I said I liked the Halo Top, but if it's
But
between
if
having
you
a
have
big
a
old
big
thing of
salty
chips,
snack-
it's going to be the chips.
The
Yeah.
chips. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 9. And this could be either as a viewer or a participant, but do you prefer musicals or straight plays? I think I know the answer to this. Maybe I do.
I love both of them, quite honestly, and it would be hard for me to say, but I would have to say straight plays because that's where I have lived and breathed. But
Mhm.
oh, don't get me started on all the good musicals I've seen in my life and the response that I've had. As a kid, that was, oh, I was obsessed. You know, my mother was a high school drama teacher. She went to Howard Payne College when I was in grade school. And so our babysitter, my brother and our babysitter was the theater. And we would go and we'd watch rehearsals for Oklahoma and The King and I and Carousel. And, you know, so that was early training.
And early in your viewing, didn't you say one of the first musicals you ever saw, or maybe that was Emerson? You guys talked about the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
My first Broadway show was when I was a senior in college. Or a junior in college. We flew up there for a little conference, and we saw one Broadway show, and it was Whorehouse.
Love it.
Let's go, kids, to the Whorehouse musical.
It's interesting, you know, here at Baylor University, we're these Texas kids at this religious school, and we go seeking out a Texas play called Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
In Texas.
Okay. All right, our final question of the evening. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the funniest, how funny are you?
Be honest.
I think I can hit a 10.
Yes.
I would say.
A 9. I can, and with the right actor saying my material, I think I can hit a 10.
Yeah.
You can hit a 10 crawling out of bed in your PJs at Louise Beard's house. Thank you, Del Shores.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything. I thank you for coming tonight. A terrific new theater. Thanks you for everything you do for us. And I hope to see you soon in person.
Same here. Y'all stay safe, and
You too.
We live with hope, right?
Yep, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
Bye.
Thanks. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.